Hi everyone, welcome back to the Snowflake tutorial. So in this video, we'll be talking about how to create warehouse so that the users can execute some queries on your data. At the same time, how we control the access using users and rules. That also we will be doing practically. Okay. So let me open my trial account, which we created in our previous video. So I have successfully logged in into my Snowflake account and we'll be doing all the things practically. Okay, so you can see that this is my Snowflake web UI from where we can do everything. You can see that there is no worksheet as of now. Worksheet is nothing but your SQL editor, your SQL files where you can write your SQL queries and you can execute. But before we execute something, we need a warehouse. And as of now, we don't have any warehouse. So on the left side, you can click on admin. Okay. And under admin category, you can click on warehouses and you will notice that there is no warehouse. That means you cannot perform any type of processing. So before we start, let's click on this warehouse button. You can provide some warehouse name. I would say test, or let's give some names, sample underscore WH. You can give any name. This is just for my purpose. The purpose of creating warehouses, suppose for different teams, you can create different warehouse and you can grant access accordingly so that every team will be using their own warehouse. And later on, you can analyze at any point of time, like which warehouse is causing you more cost, which warehouse is being utilized, which warehouse is rarely used. All these things you can do. That means you don't have to be dependent on a single warehouse. You can create multiple warehouses for your multiple teams. Okay, so you can add some comment. You can add like created for training purpose. After that, we have to select few more details like the type is standard. If you click on that, you will see that there are few more things like Snowpark optimized. Snowflake can also work with Spark, that's known as Snowpark. That means in case you are executing your Spark job on Snowflake, so this particular Snowpark optimized will be giving you better performance. But in our case, because we are just creating a sample warehouse, we can go with standard. And under the size, you can see that there are many more options available. The smallest one is X small. After that, we have a small, we have medium, large, X large, 2X large, and many more. For our training purpose, for our learning purpose, you can go with X small. And finally, you can click on create warehouse. You can select, you can see few things here. The current advanced settings are auto resume on. That means in case your warehouse is in stopped state and you start running some query, behind the scenes, Snowflake will start the warehouse for you. That means auto resume on. Auto suspend 5 minutes. That means in case you are not using your Snowflake for 5 minutes, that means you are not executing any query. There is no point of running the warehouse because that will unnecessarily add cost, right? So in that case, it will auto suspend after 5 minutes. Multi-cluster is off. For standard edition of Snowflake, multi-cluster is not available. But in case you are going with the business critical edition or enterprise edition, you can even go with multi-cluster warehouse. And similarly, there can be many more settings in case you want to change it. But as of now, let's create this warehouse and let's click on this. Okay, so now the warehouse is created, but how to use it and who can use it? As we said that the permissions in Snowflake is fine grained controlled. That means you can decide who can simply use the warehouse and who can even control the warehouse. Suppose tomorrow you want to change the size or you want to change any configuration parameter, right? So you can define different type of rules and you can assign different type of permissions to those rules. So on the left side, you can click on users and roles. So I will click on user. Right now it's user only. This is my own my username, right? And you can see that my role is account admin. Account admin is the highest role in Snowflake. Under account admin, there are many more roles, like we have system admin. Let me check if I can show you somewhere. So you can see this. This is the account admin role, because account admin is the ownership. We have the full ownership, but definitely we cannot provide this account admin role to every user, right? So what we will do is, let's create some roles first, so that in case you are creating any user, you can give those roles to the user. Okay, so now you can see here, when I click on roles, different roles are already available, and on the left side you can see that there is a diagram as well. Account admin is the topmost role. Under that there is security admin. That means creating the role, granting the role, revoking the access, all these things, all these activities are done by a security admin. There is sysadmin as well. Sysadmin means you can create database, you can create schema, you can create tables, but definitely you don't have permissions like deleting the account or security related things. So there's a different hierarchy of the rules, and apart from this predefined hierarchy, in case you want to create more rules, you can even do that, and that's what we will be doing now. So I will click on plus role and give some role name. So we created one warehouse, right? So what we can do is, we can create some usage role as well. Okay, so we'll say like warehouse uses sample underscore wh underscore uses. This is my role name. Creating the role will not assign any permission. Role is one thing, but later on you have to assign some permission, like what type of activity this role can perform. So right now I'm just creating the role. Okay, and grant to a role. There is a parent child relationship in Snowflake which you can do. Suppose in this case I would assign this role to another role. Suppose sysadmin or account admin, you can do that, it's optional. Okay, so we'll not do right away. What we can do is, we can provide some comment here, like role for warehouse uses. Okay, and let's copy this, because we will create some other roles as well, and click on create role. Okay, so this role has been created, and now we will do one more thing. We'll click again and we'll create one more role. I will create another role, like sample warehouse full means this will have full permissions, and you want to assign this one to someone. Maybe I would assign this role to sysadmin. Okay, and I would say full permission for warehouse. Okay, and create role. So I have created two roles. One is for users, just users purpose. That means the user who has that particular role granted, he or she can only use the warehouse. They cannot do anything, they cannot delete it, they cannot change the configuration, they cannot change the size, but yes, if they need, they can use it. And in case you assign that full access role to someone, that means they can do anything on that particular warehouse. So these are the rules, whatever we created are for warehouse. Similarly, because we will be reading some data from a table, we will be creating some table, we will be inserting into some table, right? So we need some roles for our data access as well. So I will click again plus role, and I will give some name, maybe sample underscore read only. Okay, I'm just creating a role. As the name indicates, this role will provide the read only access to particular table or view, but which table, which schema, that we haven't decided yet. I'm just creating a role. Okay, or let's do one thing. We'll create read only, and similarly we'll create a read write. So I am clicking on create role, and we'll create one more, that would be read write. Okay, and this also I will assign to sysadmin. Okay, why I'm doing this is, because in case you are having some sysadmin role, and whatever child roles are granted to you, those permission will also coming to you. For example, a child role is having a full permission on a warehouse, and the child role is granted to some parent role, so parent will get those permissions. It looks little different, right? Because in normal life every child get features from its parent, but in Snowflake it's different. Whatever permissions are granted to a child role, those will propagate to the parent, and you can create multi-level hierarchy. You can make grandparent also. So this way you can keep on assigning the permissions to a particular role, and it will propagate till the topmost parent. Okay, so I think we have created few roles. Now what I will do is I will be going back to my worksheet. Okay, and let me do one thing. I will click on plus so that we can create at least one worksheet. Hold on. Yeah, so what we will do is we click on this file. There is nothing as of now. Okay, so what we will do is we will grant some permission. So you can do show roles. Okay, it will display all the roles available here. So select this, click on this play button, and it will display the result here. Okay, you can see here there are all the roles listed here: sample read only, sample read write, sample warehouse full, and sample warehouse uses. These four roles are created by us, right? Remaining roles are automatically, I can say, available as part of our trial account creation. Okay, now what we will do is we will assign some permission. So what I will do is I will say grant uses on warehouse. What's the warehouse name? Sample underscore wh. To role we have sample warehouse uses role, right? Yes, correct. So as I explained, right, simply creating the role will not give any permission. You have to assign the permission separately. So now I am saying that this particular role can only use the warehouse. So we can execute this. Okay, like this, and that's done. Now there was another role, right? And we would like to give the full permission on the warehouse. So what we will do is grant all means everything, all permissions on warehouse this to role. There was a role full, right? Yes, this one. Yes. And we will execute this. Okay. So in this video, what we did is we created a warehouse, and we created a few roles, and finally we assigned some permission to the warehouse usage and warehouse full role. So that's all about this video. In the next video we'll talk about how to create a database, how to create a schema, table, views, and then using these roles whatever we created now, like we also created read only and read write role, right? So using those roles we will be executing some queries as well. Okay, so see you in the next video. Thank you.